Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with the first video in a while. Before I get into any like Pokemon related stuff, I just want to talk about why you haven't seen an upload from me in forever. Probably been like 6 months. Basically, as the NPL minor season was winding down, my computer just broke. The computer I was using to record and stuff, and I did not. And after that, I just didn't have any form of recording. My only other computer I had was a Chromebook, and if you guys have any experience with Chromebooks, they are terrible and they can't really do anything. So I was pretty much unable to record for pretty much 6 months, and that's why I wasn't able to finish recording my NPL minor season. And I might get around to doing that eventually, but that's been like, yeah, it happened like 6 months ago. So basically what I'm going to be recording now is much more like recent and relevant. And also, yeah, I didn't just quit uploading. I didn't really have a choice, but now that NPL is over with, I don't really have an obligation to upload, if that makes sense, because I was an upload required league. Now I can just kind of upload when I want, and I'm just going to be uploading whenever I feel is nice. So that's why I am going to decide to record my Hive Mega Beedrill run. In case you don't know what the Hive is, it's basically a league of 4 divisions. All of the divisions are pretty good, and I'm in Mega Beedrill, which is the 4th and highest division, and the competition in this league is just really solid. So I was really excited for this season, and I just got my computer a few days ago, so that is why I'm recording this and uploading it soon, because I want to get this out there. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this. This is a really fun league, and I really like the team I drafted at first, so I was excited going into this. And we're going to start with week 1. Our opponent is Base Tech, or Techno, really good friend of mine, really good player, and he's one of the best players in the format, so it would definitely be a good matchup. But before I start talking about the game, I just want to talk about the team I drafted. So the team Alright, sorry for that cut. Basically what was happening was I was reading my team off the doc, and then I realized as I was reading that it had my free agent transactions that I did later on in the season already there, so I had to go back, and now I will read off my draft. My draft is Megalopunny, Manaphy, Z-Manaphy, Ferrothorn, Togekiss, Reuniclus, Z-Reuniclus, Alolan Muck, Darmanitan, Tyrantrum, Rotom-Mow, Palossand, and Kecleon. Basically, I'll just sum up what I did with my draft so far. I wanted to build around Megalopunny, I wanted to get breakers, and I wanted to surround it with good bulk. I really wanted to try using Ferrothorn and Reuniclus, so I picked those mons early on, and I just picked mons I was comfortable using bulk-wise. After that, I got Togekiss, I got Muck, and which were just both really good mons. Darmanitan and Tyrantrum are both great partners for Lopunny, just kind of overwhelm those physical walls. Manaphy is a really nice. I actually got Manaphy around, I think I got around 10. It's kind of been declining in popularity of late, but I felt it fit nicely on this team just so I can have those setup options and help me break through. And I got Palossand, Kecleon, Rotom-Mow, kind of just to round out my low tier bulk and give me some more hazard options such as the Fog and Rocks. So I wasn't a huge fan of the team, but I thought I can do well with it. People around the league were saying it was good. I don't know, but yeah. Our first opponent is Techno, and his team consists of Jirachi, Greninja, Serperior, Conkeldurr, Dragalge, Mega Garchomp, Heliolisk, Comfey, Hippowdon, Ribombee, and one other Pokemon that I'm forgetting because it's not on the doc, but basically all the mons he brought are right here. So yeah. This happened about like 3 or 4 months ago, so I don't remember everything that well, but I kind of remember what was up. So yeah, he's got a very threatening team, but I feel like I still had it's a good matchup in this game. Basically, the biggest threat to my team is that Mega Garchomp, because I just really can't switch into it. Just Earthquake. He really just needs Earthquake and just like Stone Edge for my Togekiss, and that kind of just destroys everything. Yeah, Earthquake, Poison Jab hits my whole team, and then he can run like Rocks or Stone Edge or Sub or something on it. So it's a huge threat. Yeah, he doesn't really need a Dragon move at all versus my team. That's my Dragon type is Tyrantrum, so, and that just gets blown back by Earthquake. So definitely the biggest threat. I brought Ice coverage on as much stuff as possible and really prepped hard for it. And another thing to note with Mega Garchomp is that in the Hive, we are not required to Mega first turn. So if he wanted to be something like a Jolly Garchomp and not Mega Evolve to outspeed stuff like my Manaphy, he can do that. So Manaphy isn't really the best check if he just wants to set up a Swords Dance, not Mega, and go for EQ. That would be terrifying, but that is kind of a specific scenario. So I did play around him not being invested to outspeed my Manaphy. He's also got the Hippowdon. Hippowdon is just going to be his dedicated check to Lopunny. That's just pretty obvious. Nothing more than that. It can check Muck as well and roar some potential setup. Also deals Darmanitan and the Tyrantrum that I decided to not bring. He's got the Jirachi, which I felt I really didn't think it had that good of a matchup. Just couldn't fit moves. I had stuff like Muck, Ferrothorn, Palo Sand. Like there was kind of like, I figured there wasn't really that one good set. Like Scarf is always a good set. He can kind of spam Iron Head if he got rid of my Ferrothorn, but then again, I also had a Manaphy and stuff. And I really didn't feel like Jirachi was that big of a problem. I still prefer it, of course, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't bring it. He also has the he has a Greninja. Techno is really good at using Greninja, so I did, of course, prep hard for it. I do have some answers to it, but it's really annoying if he just decides to set up spikes, because I did not bring removal in this game, so I can't just play too passively around it. He's got the Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr is actually one of the biggest threats to my team. I brought a Reuniclus set specifically designed to be the Conkeldurr, but even then, if he's like Flame Orb or Bulk Up and wants to, and then knock off to a KO my Reuniclus. So yeah, Conkeldurr is a huge threat. But he could also be Assault Vest or stuff just to take stuff better. He's also got the Superior. I didn't think it was that good just because I had stuff like Muck and I can revenge it with stuff like Lopunny, but it did outspeed everything on my team, with the exception of Lopunny. So I figured if you wanted to try and lure Muck with other stuff and run like Subseed or something, that could be pretty scary. So yeah, Surf could be a good bring, but I understand why I didn't bring it. I do have some pretty good checks to it. He also had the Dragalge. Dragalge, basically, Dragalge, it could kinda do work against me, but I feel like its main thing is Toxic Spikes and being defensive, and against my team, I didn't really see what it would check. I guess Manaphy, and I have one of the best Toxic Spikes absorbers in the game, so I wasn't that too scared of Dragalge. He also had the Heliolisk. Tech is really fond of Heliolisk, so I was pretty confident he'd bring it. It's actually quite annoying to my team, as it revenges stuff like Manaphy really well. It's a great like answer to Manaphy, as it has it has Water Absorb, so it can kind of go freely and do a lot of damage to it. I was considering running Hidden Power Fighting on my Manaphy. I'll get more into that as I explain my Manaphy set, but yeah, revenges a lot of stuff and is overall pretty good. He's also got the Comfy. I didn't really feel like Comfy would do that much versus my team, just because I have a Ferrothorn and I have a Muck. I didn't really see what it would be doing. It's really not bulky enough to reliably check Lopunny either. And yeah, he's also got the Rabombi. Sticky Webs are annoying, so I have to keep that in mind. Sticky Webs aren't the worst thing though, because with the exception of Lopunny, my team isn't really that fast, so it's more of a bulky build, so I should be able to deal with Sticky Webs. And like my team pressures it pretty well, so it's not like really it can get free set versus me. Muck is a pretty good check to Rabambi as well, and if I recall correctly, I think it was Akka Ferrothorn. I'm not positive on that, because as I said, this was a long time ago, so that can also check Rabambi pretty well. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I did leave out some mons, because as I said, this is literally the only team that I don't have, the only matchup I don't have. Every other team besides this, I will have, so yeah, sorry about that, but I covered all the mons he brought, so let me get into my team. I have a pretty standard Lopunny. I just brought pretty much 3 attacks, return, high jump kick, ice punch for the Garchomp, because as I said, I really need to be able to pressure that Garchomp well. And then I did bring Toxic for the Hippowdon to catch it on the switch, or use it as it goes for rocks, because if I do that, then it really opens the door for my Lopunny to work late game. Got the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is pretty Spadef this game, to just steal this up by Helios, Greninja. I'm pretty sure I got the Occaberry, and I've also got, I don't have rocks on this Ferrothorn, I don't have rocks on this build, but I have spikes instead, because looking at his team, spikes are just better than rocks, because he has a lot of stuff that resists rocks, such as Conkeldurr, Hippowdon, Garchomp, but all those things don't like spikes at all, so like, just look at his team, he does not like spikes, and it really pressures the switches a lot, so spikes are really good. I've also got the Muck. Muck is just amazing this matchup. It checks all of the special attackers really well, such as Serp, Calm Mind Jirachi, Greninja, Heliolisk, Rabambi, can do large chunks of damage to everything. I've got the Berry and Recycle, pretty sure, and I either have Ice for Toxic and then Dual Stab. I can't really remember. Next up I got Reuniclus. I don't remember exactly what this Reuniclus is, but I'm pretty sure it's holding the Psychium Z this week, and it's pretty defensive, and the reason for Psychium Z is it means I can switch into Conkeldurr's knockoffs very well, and just kind of force stuff out, do a lot of damage. I probably have Calm Mind and Energy Ball or something for stuff like the Greninja. As I said, I'm really sorry for not being able to remember the sets, but I remember stuff pretty well, so I did watch a replay before this just kind of to remember stuff. I've also got Specs Manaphy. Specs Manaphy might seem weird because you might think, why just not run Tail Glow? But I really like being able to do immediate damage right away. Specs Ice Beam blows away Garchomp, which is huge. Surf and Ice Beam do a really large amount to Hippowdon. Another reason for Specs is I can just kind of do, I can click anything that isn't Surf, I can click versus Heliolisk and do about half, like such as Ice Beam or Energy Ball. It'll do about half and chip it down. So and if I was Tail Glow, I would just like Tail Glow and then not be able to kill Heliolisk because I can't Surf, and he'd be able to Volt Switch out and it wouldn't be good. So I decided Specs so I can do easier damage, and I didn't really think I'd be getting a Tail Glow up this game. And then I've got Scarf Togekiss. I feel like Scarf Togekiss was pretty necessary this game, giving me more ways of preventing the Garchomp if webs got up. Let me get rid of the Greninja 2, and it also gave me a very reliable way of doing damage to Conkeldurr, because it is a big threat this game, and having the way to revenge it that easily is really nice. And he doesn't really have a Dazzling Gleam resist, so Scarf Togekiss is looking pretty nice if I do say so myself. So yeah, let's get into the replay. I decided to lead off with my Manaphy just because I'm thinking if he leads off with anything but Heliolisk, I can just fire off an attack and do some solid damage. But he leads off with Greninja, and I decide to click U-turn because I really think he would go into the Heliolisk and I can get momentum. But he just clicked Spikes, which I understand, because usually you would think that Manaphy can't cool Greninja. My Manaphy actually could have, but yeah, I would have been in a good spot if I just clicked. If I had just clicked Energy Ball, and but yeah, I figured he would probably go into Heliolisk, and I gathered and I wanted momentum instead of the chip on Heliolisk. But now that I know he clicked Spikes, I can go into my Lopunny and just kind of click. I forget what I clicked here. I'm gonna Mega Evolve, and I click High Jump Kick just because I didn't see a switch in, and I knew that. And now I can force the Hippowdon to click Slack off, so I can just fire off a Toxic. or no, I baton passed. So yeah, baton. I'm getting mixed up with games, but yeah, had baton pass for momentum, and now I can just go into my Manaphy, click energy ball, and yeah, do a lot of damage. See, that does 83, and he clicks stealth rock. So now the hit pattern was really low, so that's nice for my low punny. And I click energy ball again, no reason not to, and that does about half to the Heliolisk. So now I decide to go into my Ferrothorn, as I know he's probably going for an electric type attack, as he goes for the Volt Switch and he gets in the Conkeldurr. So this is why I have my Reuniclus specifically designed to deal with the Conkeldurr, as I am able to take the knockoff well, and yeah, just be able to recover up here. And here, the Muck, or the Muck switch in is pretty obvious here, so I figured he wouldn't Dark Pulse, so I decided to click, I believe, yeah, Grass Knot. I Grass Knot for the Hippowdon, and Greninja, because Grass Knot does a lot to Hippowdon, and yeah, I figured it was worth the risk, but yeah, that Hydro Pump does a lot, so yeah, Reuniclus is pretty expendable at this point. He goes into the Ribombee, and I just click Psychic move because I don't want him. I don't want him just killing me. So now I can go into my low punny, because return does kill, and I can pretty much just get a kill on the spot. I can just click return pretty freely. But now my low punny is very low. So at this point in the game, things are looking nice, but the big issue is that I want to win my Scarf Togekiss because it does a lot of damage to everything. The Heliolisk is in range, the Garchomp just needs a tiny bit of chip, and the Ribombee just needs a bit of chip as well. But I'm thinking that's probably Scarf Heliolisk by the way he's playing it, and that will be able to revenge my Scarf Togekiss, and I can check Scarf Heliolisk with my Muck, but the thing is it allows the Garchomp to come in and get kills. So yeah, and he brings in his Heliolisk, so now I'm pretty positive this is Scarf. I just sacked my low punny because it's pretty much dead when it comes back in between rocks and the Spike. It would be able to live, but it's not really worth because he also does have the Rough Skin on the Garchomp and Mach Punch on the Conk and Scarf Heliolisk. So yeah, I didn't feel like preserving it was worth. Didn't want to lose momentum. So he goes down to his Garchomp, and I can just go into my Specs Manaphy, click, and I can click Ice Beam. So he goes into his Conk, and that is definitely a Saltless Conk, so yeah, I kind of had to click Ice Beam because he had the Heliolisk in the back, but yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that he goes into the Conk, and now I kind of have to switch out because I feel I need to preserve the Manaphy just so I have another way of clicking, revenging the jump. Oh, I actually click Ice Beam again, but yeah, he tried to predict the Togekiss. So now I can. It doesn't matter. See, because he just kills me. But yeah, now I decide to bring in my Muck. This is where I tweaked hard. I was thinking I can set up curses on this and win. So I try to do that because I am a cursed Muck, and I play this so I don't want him going into Garchomp for free, but I can also try and curse it. So he's just drain punching him. I think, yeah, I can set up enough to the point where I can be able to take hit from the Garchomp, but then as you can see, I freeze. So yeah, I'm able to just recycle, but then he thaws out and clicks Drain Punch. Yeah, just trying to get damage because I'm not realizing what's about to happen because I'm tweaking hard. But yeah, he Poison Jabs so the berry doesn't activate, and then he clicks Knockoff. And I believe I just cursed again, and I totally forgot that if you get knocked off, you can't recycle the berry. So I click recycle here as he clicks drain, and yeah, it fails. So now I realize that I pretty much just sacked my Muck for nothing, and I'm probably gonna lose to the Heliolisk. If I went Togekiss Ray versus Conk, I think I had a good chance to win, but yeah, he could just always Volt Switch and get in the Garchomp, so I don't know. If he predicts me once, I lose. So yeah, I go into my Togekiss, and he brings in the Heliolisk. I'm forced to go into the Garchomp. As yeah, he clicks Volt Switch, and now he goes into the Mega Garchomp. I figured he's either gonna kill him. I just gotta spam Gyro Ball I can't go hard into my Togekiss. I can live Fire Blast, and he clicks Earthquake, and that just kills Ferrothorn, which shows how strong my Garchomp is. But yeah, I'm glad that he subbed because now he's in range of Dazzling Gleam, so I'm able to pick up another kill and bring it down to a 2-0. But yeah, I do lose 2-0 to Techno week 1. Not my best performance at all. I really tweaked hard with the Muck. So yeah, I think if I sent out Togekiss, I maybe could have won. I would have had to play really well, and I would have had to outplay, I'm pretty sure, because he added the sub, so he would have been able to sub and then kill me to kill Togekiss. So yeah, if he had summoned Garchomp, he probably would have won, because I would have been able to check Helios with Muck, but it didn't really matter, because he could just been Garchomp. But yeah, good game to Techno, and I will move on to week 2 in a minute. Alright, here we are with week 2 versus my boy TC. Been a while since we played him, one of the first people I ever met in Draft League format. Pretty good player. I probably played him the most out of anyone in draft format, but it's been a while, so I was pretty excited for this game. He's got quite an interesting team. I felt I had a solid matchup, but TC is a good builder, and I definitely had to be in the top of this game because I need to bounce back, and there are no slouches in the Hive, so really got to go all out every week, because if you lose too many games, it's hard to make a comeback. So yeah, basically I have the same team as last week. I have same team as last week. Lopunny, Manaphy, Ferrothorn, Togekiss, Reuniclus, Muck, Darm, and Tyrantrum, and Rotom-O, Palisand, and Kecleon. And he has got the Tornadus, or no, wrong matchup. He has got the Infernape, the Tapu Fini, Mega Sceptile, Mamoswine, Zoroark, Excelgor, Mandibuzz, Celebi, Cryogonal, Crawdon, Lapras, which is an interest, or no, not Lapras. He's got Registeel. So yeah, he's got an interesting team. While building, I was really scared of Infernape because my bulky water type is Manaphy, and that doesn't really like taking stuff like Banded Close Combats or SD into Z Close Combat, and my Fire Resists are just not very good, and Infernape is like the perfect Fire type versus my team. He's also got the Mamoswine, which I really don't switch into well at all. I do have some text for it, but it's still very scary. Mega Sceptile, I feel like I could check really well. Tapu Fini is annoying because just is really bulky, deals with my Darm, deals with my Lopunny to an extent. Excelgor is annoying because it kind of forced me to bring spikes. I can't stand facing an Excelgor team without spikes. He's also got the Zoroark, which I didn't feel was that good when I have a Togekiss and a Muck. He could run like knockoff or something, I suppose, but still didn't feel like it was that good. Mandibuzz is just a solid check. Some of my stuff kind of made it hard for me to bring the Reuniclus. And yeah, Celebi, good Lopunny check. I was really expecting to see it because it's just his best Lopunny check on his team. Helmet is a great Lopunny check. So yeah, it was definitely kind of annoying to build for. Also got Cryogonal. Cryogonal is pretty annoying because my ice resists are Darmanitan and Manaphy, and Manaphy can just kind of get hit with Freeze Dry and can't do much back, and Darm wasn't really that good versus his team. He's also got the Crawdon. Crawdon is pretty good versus my team because my water resists are Manaphy and Ferrothorn, and they really don't like taking Noxes. I kind of have a slower, bulkier team, and those are just the team that Crawdon loves to face. So yeah, Crawdon's a big threat. And he's also got the Registeel, which is a Registeel. Sets up rocks, switches into stuff, Seismic Tosses, Toxics. Yeah, you guys know what Registeel does. So yeah, that's TC's team, and now onto my team that I brought. So first up, I got just a pretty standard Mega Lopunny set. Adamant, I can run Adamant this game. High Jump Kick, Return, Fake Out, Quick Attack. Dual Priority is really nice when he's got stuff like Infernape and Crawdon, and he does have some pretty good switch-ins because I'm not running any text for Celebi or Mandibuzz or something, but pretty good win con once I just chip his team down. And yeah, with all the priority, he has a really like Fake Out plus Quick Attack this game. I've also got a pretty physically defensive Figgy Berry, Ferrothorn, Figgy Berry, so I can just take hits better. Like I don't interfere as much searching into Mammothswine and getting chips, because once I'm at 25 or lower, I just get the 50% back, which is really nice. Got Rocks, T-Wave, and Gyro. And Leaf Seed, he doesn't really switch into Leaf Seed well, especially with the team he brought, and I can just whittle stuff down. Thunder Wave's nice because I just like firing it off, paralyzing it. Felt it was better than Toxic this game because he has a lot of fast mons. Good, decent pivot into Sceptile as well, and it's just good for pivot into Crawdon, Mammothswine, etc. Next that I got is pretty interesting. I got I got a Reflect Psychic knockoff Regenerator Reuniclus holding the Light Clay. I'm not dual screens because I didn't feel like light screen is that necessary, because I can deal with the special hits pretty well when I've got a Muck, but I was really scared of his physical threats such as Mammothswine, Infernape, and Crawdon, so I figured if I can just set up the light screen, or if I can set up the Reflect and keep it, just like keep it up, I'll have a much easier time dealing with stuff like ST Infernape, Mammothswine, Crawdon, and that's just really nice for this game. So yeah, I got Knock so I can knock stuff like lefties from Registeel, knock Helmet or leftovers from the Mandibuzz. So yeah, overall nice this game. Knocking off items is always good. It's just a good middle ground. I didn't feel like something like Calm Mind and that spot would do anything this game. And I didn't want to run like Toxic for in the last spot, because good chance Mandibuzz had Taunt, or and it wouldn't be able to do anything to Registeel. So yeah, also got a mixed defensive Mono Air slash Nasty Plot Togekiss. As I mentioned, I felt like Defog was necessary this game because he did have the Excelgor, and I can't stand bringing no removal versus an Excelgor. Mostly physically defensive, so I can pivot into stuff like Scarf Infernape, or just close combats from Infernape. Basically, this stuff is just good to help me stall break. Deals with the Mandibuzz pretty well if he's not carrying the Toxic. Deals with Registeel as well if he doesn't have Seismic Tosses. I can just Nasty Plot up as much as I want and just fire off attacks. I can I'm invested to outspeed Adamant Crawdon as well, so I only have to worry about Aqua Jets from that as long as he hasn't set up a Dragon Dance or something. And yeah, deals with Sceptile pretty nicely as well. Just overall very nice this game. Pretty much my main way of dealing with Celebi. Next up, I've got an Air Balloon, Tail Glow, Manaphy, Tail Glow 3 attacks, Energy Ball, Surf, Ice Beam. So yeah, basically ideas, I can pivot it into Mammothswine's EQ with the Air Balloon, because if you look at my team, if he has a Mammothswine, he's probably gonna click EQ. So yeah, unless he really doesn't want my Togekiss coming in, but even then, like, he would outspeed and click Icicle Grass. Yeah, he's definitely gonna click EQ. Surf is just, stab. Ice Beam for Celebi, and Energy Ball for Tapu Fini. Yeah, overall really nice. And then I've got a Spadef, Curse, Dual Stab, Alolan Muck. Pretty standard, pretty good this game. Deals with Sceptile, and pretty hard for him to beat once I have Curses up. So yeah, let's get into this game. I'm going to lead off with my Togekiss because I feel it's just overall a nice lead. And yeah, deals with stuff he might want to lead off with. Well, I can take it from the Cryogonal. So he leads up with his Mandibuzz, and I just click Air Slash just because I want to scout and see what he wants to do. As he goes straight into his Registeel, and that does nothing as expected, so I'm not invested. And I see that he's lefties Registeel, so yeah, I'm thinking I can just go into my Ferrothorn and get rocks up, be in a good position, maybe Leaf Seed. So I go into my Ferrothorn as he just clicks Iron Head, so I didn't really expect that. I thought he'd click Rocks. So, but that's perfectly fine because it gets some Iron Barb chip. But I click Rocks as I click Thunder Whip, and I'm like, what? Why does he have Sub? And I figured, is he gonna have like Curse or something, or like Iron Defense or Amnesia? And I figured I'm gonna I'm definitely gonna get my rocks up and go into Manaphy as soon as I can, because um, yeah, I really just didn't want to deal with the shenanigans. Unfortunately, have to sack my air balloon, and he clicks hammer arm, which makes sense as Ironhead and hammer arm hits most of my team. Um, hammer arm is a good middle ground to hit both Ferrothorn and Manaphy for decent damage. So now I'm just gonna tail glow because Surfs without tail glow will be nothing, doing nothing to the Spidef Registeel. So yeah, he hammer arms again, and now my Manaphy is pretty low. So this is a good set. It allowed my Manaphy to get pretty low. So yeah, now I can surf. It won't kill, but it'll do damage and probably get him in range of my low plenty. So yeah, I click surf as he goes into his cryogonal and a fairy lives. So I don't really want to sack my Manaphy. I figured I can go into my muck and do it because he's probably going to freeze dry. He's not going to sack his cryogonal, and I can just click knock as it's pretty much a no drawback play, and that does a lot as he tries to recover. And I'm just going to click poison jab because knockoff wouldn't have 2 KO'd if he tried to spam recover, and I figured good chance he just rapid spin. So he brings in his Mamoswine, and I'm just going to go into Ferrothorn as I know I can live 2 EQs. But yeah, he misses Iso Clash there, which is pretty unfortunate as any chip on a Ferrothorn is always appreciated. But now I can just click up, get rocks up, and yeah, I try and Leaf Seed as he reveals the taunt, which I somewhat expected. So yeah, now I just go into my Togekiss. Because I can't outspeed a Nasty Pawn in it, but he makes good play in U-turns and brings in his Mamoswine. So now I'm just going to go into my Ferrothorn again as he gets up his rocks. So now I can just Leaf Seed, as Leaf Seed is pretty free right now. As he goes into his Crawdaunt, and I decided to pivot into my Togekiss because I was fearing something like a Bandit or Life Orb Superpower or a knockoff, and I figured he probably wasn't going for a water move, so I was pretty confident going into Togekiss as he does indeed knockoff, and that is Life Orb. I can live an Aqua Jet because I am pretty defense invested, so I just Air Slash there as I didn't want to risk anything as he goes into his Registeel, and I decided to Nasty Plot because I can break Registeel's, I can do a lot, and because I can kind of flinch it down, and Ironheads are going to be doing nothing as you can see, and I can just roost up. Even with a curse, Ironhead will be doing very little, as he subs probably predicting me to Air Slash again. But yeah, the second Air Slash will break my sub as he starts roosting, and I just want to spam Air Slash so I can either flinch and then get it in range of my Lopunny, or Surf for my Manaphy. My Manaphy can still fire up the Surf at this range, because I can live rocks. I'm going to get a few flinches in a row, which is pretty unfortunate, but it is a Togekiss, so the flinch chance is in my favor. But yeah, I'm fine sacking my Togekiss, but then I get a crit as yeah, that means basically I only need one more. Basically means he's very low now, and I can revenge it with anything. I go into my Lopunny. I don't have to fear protect because he revealed all 4 moves, and I can just kill the Registeel with high jump kick. So now he goes into his Mandibuzz. I don't want to risk my Lopunny because it's just really good versus his remaining offensive mods. I'm kind of just going to sack my Reuniclus here. Figured no point in not trying to set up a Reflex as he goes for the knockoff. Him having knockoff is very annoying because it means I can't just set up easily. Well, I already couldn't, but it means my Muck isn't very good play versus it because I lose my berry, making like me recycling pretty useless. But yeah, I figured he'd definitely taunt there, so I go for the knockoff because I don't really fear taking helmet damage because I am regenerator, so I'd be able to heal damage pretty nicely if I want to come back in, and yeah, getting rid of the helmet is just nice for getting my Lopunny to win. So I go into my Ferrothorn to just kind of play around. I don't really mind my berry getting knocked off, but yeah, I figured he'd definitely taunt here. I didn't want to go hard muck on a knockoff, so that's why I pivoted around. Here I'm just going to spam Poison Jab because there's not really anything he can do against me, and if I get a Poison, I'll be in a good spot. And unfortunately, I get a Poison the first chance, but kind of getting a bit lucky this game, but yeah, I guess it happens. I click Knock and thinking he might just go Mandibuzz, but Roost was obviously his play. I Poison Jab again, thinking he's saying I didn't really play that sequence very well, so now I'm going to sack off my Manaphy. Too low to do anything, and I want to keep my Muck around because Mandibuzz can't really do anything to it, and I can just kind of spam Poison Jab versus it. So now versus Mamoswine, I figured a good chance he's Scarf. By the way, he's been playing it. He did click Rocks, but yeah, I go into Ferrothorn and he clicks Earthquake, and that's actually abandoned Mamoswine, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, I don't really need my Ferrothorn to check that much because I'm just getting closer and closer to winning with Lopunny. And do that, I'm just gonna spam Gyro Ball. It's doing nothing, but I don't want him just getting like a free roost. I want to try and get into a situation where he has to choose between either taunting to prevent Leech Seed or clicking Roost so he's healthy enough. I believe it's this turn. Yeah, he taunts as I click. Yeah, I click Leech Seed, so that didn't really work out. So I decided to switch him to my Muck because he can't do anything, and I can just fire off poison jabs or curse if I think he's gonna taunt. Yeah, I poison jab, and then I believe I click curse on this turn because I was very much expecting a roost. He gets a knockoff crit, doesn't really matter because he can't do anything to me. And now my poison jabs are gonna be doing enough to where he really can't beat me 1v1 because he can kill me eventually, but he'd have to spam roost a lot and then be in range of the Lopunny. So he U-turns and goes hard into his Infernape, and that poison damage is gonna be, or that poison jab damage is gonna be enough to put him in range of Fake Out from my Lopunny. And because he took the rocks and he wasn't able to roost, I can just clean with my Lopunny right now because the problem is low. I can take any Aqua Jet, so yeah, I'm just gonna clean with my Lopunny. Basically Lopunny doing what it likes to do, just cleaning late game once I chip everything down. So yeah, very nice showing from Lopunny. I did get a bit lucky that game, but TC still played well, so yeah, good game to TC. Alright, next up we are going up against Lejon Flames, two-time Hive Mega Beedrill champion. Pretty good, very good player, and he's got a very good matchup versus my team, so I figured this would be quite a challenge. Definitely prepped really hard for this game as I wanted to beat Lejon. And yeah, I'll go over his team real quick. His team consists of Z Tornadus T, or I don't know why I said Z. Yeah, Z Tornadus T, Mega Medicham, Skarmory, Nidoking, Kyurem, Lycanroc Dusk, which can use Z, Sylveon, Bisharp, Volbeat, Gastrodon, and Oricorio. He can use any form, but Oricorio was an unmon, so I'm not really that worried. Basically, the biggest threat is Tornadus T because my only flying resist on my team is Tyrantrum, and I really wanted to get more flying resist during the draft, but they all kept getting sniped, such as Stunfisk, which would have been pretty good this matchup, but as a Tornadus check. But I had to get creative when it came to checking Tornadus this game. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, also he has Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham isn't the biggest threat to my team because I do have Reuniclus, which is one of the better Mega Medicham like switch-ins in the game. As you can see, he didn't even bring it, so I'm not too surprised at that. You got the Skarmory, which is annoying as it's a good, very good switch into Lopunny, and it kind of can annoy Ferrothorn with Taunt, Defog, and stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. He's got the Nidoking, which is a huge threat to my team. I really struggle to switch into it. Poison types in general are just a big threat, especially if they get fire coverage, and like Nidoqueen's coverage, like poison, ground, and fire coverage just runs through my team. So yeah, he's also got the Kyurem. Kyurem is also a huge threat because my Ice Resist is Manaphy, and Manaphy can't really do that much to Kyurem, and like something like Specs, Draco, Meteor will do a ton. Lycanroc Dusk isn't the biggest threat because I have Palisand, which checks alright, and yeah. So that's not the hugest deal. Sylveon is a decent Lopunny check, but it doesn't really deal with anything else in my team that well. And he's also got the Bisharp, which is another really big threat. I can't really switch into it at all on this team. Like Manaphy can kind of switch into it if it's really physically defensive, but that just loses me momentum. And other than that, it just really clicks Knock or Iron Head for free. And yeah, he's got the Volbeat, which is an annoying thing because he has potential Tail Wheel, Baton Pass Shenanigans in the back. He's got Gastrodon, which can check some stuff on my team if it's physically defensive. It can check like Darm and Tyrantrum. And then he's got Oricorio, which, as I mentioned, is an unmon. So yeah, let me get into the team I decided to bring. Alright, so yeah, my team is, first off, I've got Togekiss. If I'm being honestly, I don't really remember my focus set because I can't find the paste, but I'm pretty sure it was just hazard removal, probably Scarf. Got an offensive low punny with high jump kick. Yeah, return. Pretty sure I had baton pass for momentum. Next up, I've got a Kecleon. Kecleon is very specially defensive. It can kind of switch into Torn, unless it has Life Orb Focus Blast or Specs Focus Blast. But yeah, and I've got a Figgy Berry. Yeah, I've got a Figgy Berry, so I can helps me deal with Kyurem and Torn more, and yeah, just so like I can switch into 2 Life Orb Canes, get the berry back. Fire Off returns. I don't have rocks on this, but still can do decent damage because I have Protean Fire Blast for the Skarmory. Toxic and Recover, I think, were my other 2 moves. Got an AV Reuniclus this game. AV Reuniclus helps me check Torn, even though it could have knockoff, but it helps me deal with Nidoking unless it has Mega Horn. I need to be wary of that. Helps me deal with Kyurem a bit better. And I do also have a fair bit of defense investment to help me deal with Medicham. And yeah, annoying thing about the set is that I really need to be wary of Bisharp. So yeah, I've got Psychic, Energy Ball, Thunder, and Second Energy Ball, Thunder, and I can't recall my last move. But yeah, it's not really that easy for him to switch into as well, besides the Sylveon. So yeah. He also has, or I also have Palossand. Palossand is basically physically defensive to help me check Lycan Rock Dusk, because as my team is looking really weak to Lycan Rock Dusk, and gives me rocks, and also going to deal with Mega Medicham decently well. So yeah, I was Colbur Berry Earth Power as well, so I can hopefully lure the Bisharp. And if I wanted to pivot into it on an Iron Hit or something, that could be nice, because he'll probably knock the next turn and I can Earth Power. And I've also got a Calm Mind, I Pop a Berry Manaphy. Puts in a lot of work versus his team. Once I have a Calm Mind up, it's pretty hard for him to revenge. So yeah, let's get into the game. I decided to lead off with my Kecleon because I can take hits from most things, especially because he doesn't have the Medicham. Either Fire Blast or Return, do some decent damage as he decides to lead off with his Tornadus T, and I can live any hit, even an all-out pummeling. So, and to get my berry back, so I decided to do that. So he goes for the Focus Blast, and he crits me turn 1. So yeah, I lose my Kecleon turn 1 when I went for the turn. Would have done like 40-ish, and that sucks a lot because I would have easily been able to live. I know the only way he would be able to kill it with a crit was if he was Specs. So I know for a fact he's Specs now, but still, I would have been able to live. I would have got my berry back, done a lot with Return, and I would have been able to play around it because now I knew he was Specs. Like, I could have gone to my Palossand, I could have gone to my Reuniclus. I had options. So I just lose my Kecleon right off the bat, which is huge because I lose more ways of dealing with the Kyurem, the Nidoking. I can't Toxic the Gastrodon anymore. So yeah, but at least I know that he's Specs, so I go straight into my Palossand, and I want to get rocks up. So he goes into a Kyurem, and my AV Reuniclus can take 2 Specs Ice Beams from the Kyurem and go, and I can just click Focus Blast. That damage reveals he's not Specs, so I'm thinking he's Scarf at this point in time. Scarf is pretty good versus my team. So I click Focus Blast as I miss. Any chip on the Gastrodon would have been nice, but basically, so it's Gastrodon versus Reuniclus. He has to be considering Energy Ball, so I don't really want to switch out because I don't want anything else getting Toxic or anything. But I don't want to click Energy Ball because if he goes Bisharp in a bad spot, so I figured, you know, Toxic on Reuniclus isn't the biggest deal because I do have Regenerator, so I can switch out and stuff. So I figure I'll Focus Blast again because if I can catch the Bisharp on him trying to pivot into an Energy Ball, that'd be huge. So I click Focus Blast, and thankfully I hit and I kill the Bisharp, and that is huge because I just killed one of the biggest threats to my team. So I go into my Torn and I'm like, this is great. I can just click Thunder as I am literally invested to kill the Tornadus T after Rocks with Thunder. So I click Thunder because I can live any hit. Specs Hurricane bounces off, but then I missed Thunder, which I was so annoyed. So now I'm just, because I would have killed the Torn and I would have just been in a great spot because he would have lost a lot of options for breaking my team. But yeah, now I'm just going to Thunder again, as even though it was likely he'd switch as he goes into his Kyurem, and I'm thinking I can live any hit besides the Specs Draco Meteor, and but I know he's not spec, so I'm thinking I can live any hit. But then he actually reveals the Z Devastating Drake, probably Z Draco, and I'm just like, well, I lost my Reuniclus. I probably should have switched there, probably maybe sack my Palisand, but yeah, I was kind of on tilt. But yeah, I go into my Lopunny, I crit the Gashadon on the switch, and that would have easily been to a KO. I'm kind of surprised he just didn't go into Skarm like he does now, but I don't really mind him going Skarm because he's going to click Brave Bird, and I got some Manaphy, and I am somewhat bulky, so I can just Calm Mind up and start doing damage because I do have the Papa Berry. He goes into a Spectorn. I can live any hit and get damage back. He misses Hurricane, which is kind of unfortunate, but I would have gotten the berry back. He would have had to hit 2 and get relatively high rolls to win. But basically now I'm just gonna win with my Manaphy because I do have Dazzling Gleam for the Kyurem, and I can just Quick Surf versus everything else. He's gonna forfeit. He really couldn't win because I just Quick Surf. But yeah, we get a nice win. So after 3 weeks, we are 2-1 plus 5 because that was a 4-0 win, and no, actually plus 3. I tweaked hard, but yeah. Thank you all for watching. This was my return after recording for a while, so I really apologize if some stuff was rusty. I kind of forgot a lot of stuff about the games because these were played a long time ago. This game right here was played July 21st. That's a really long time. So. But yeah, I just wanted to get back into uploading. And yeah, thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.